Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namashritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavitina. Hare Krishna. Today we'll continue from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, which is Karma Yoga in Krishna consciousness. In Hindi, it is Karma Yoga. Karma Sannyas Yoga, something like that. So today the verses are verses 8 and 9. They are together. We will recite them first, and we'll recite them, and please follow after me. Neva
Deva
Kinchit
Kinchit
Karomiti
Karomiti
Neva Kinchit Karomiti
Naiva Kinchit Karomiti
Yukto
Yukto
Manyeta
Manyeta
Tattvavet
Tattvavid
Yukto Manyeta Tattvavet
Yukto Manyeta Tattvavid
Pashan
Pashan
Shrinvan
Shrinvan
Prishan
Prishan
Tigran
Chigram
Pashan Shrinvan Prishan Jigran
Pashan Shrinvan Prishan Chigram
Ashnan
Ashnan
Gachan
Gachan
Swapan
Swapan
Swasan
Swasan
Asnan Gachan Swapan Swasan
Ashtan Gachan Swapan Swasan
Pralapan
Pralapan
Sirjan
Visarjan
Grihnan
Grenam
Pralapan Visarjan Grihnan
Pralapan Visarjan Grehanam
Unmission
Unmishan
Nimishan
Nimishan
Api
Api
Nimishan Api
Nimishan Api
Indriyani
Indriyani
Indriya Arteshu
Indriyartheshu
Indriyarteshu
Indriyani Indriyartheshu
Vartanta
Vartanta
Iti
Iti
Dharayan
Dharayan
Vartanta Iti Dharayan.
Vartanta Iti Dharayan.
Now let's go line by line, okay? Naiva kinchit karomiti
Naiva kinchit karomiti
to manyeta tattvavet
Yukto manneta tattvavid
Shrinvan Speshan Jigran
Pashan shrivan sishan jikram
Ashnan Gachan Swapan Swashan
Ashtan gachan swapan swasan
Pralapan Visarjan Grihanan
Pralapam visarjan grahanam
Unmission Nimisham Api
Unmisham nimisham api
Indriyani Indriyartheshu
Indriyani indriyartheshu
Vartanta Iti Dharayan.
Vartanta idharayan.
So we will repeat. I'll repeat again. Follow me again, please. Naiva kinchit karomiti
Naiva kinchit karomiti
yukto manyeta tattvavet
Yukto manneta tattvavid
pashan shrinvan sprishan jigran
Pashanam shunvan srishan jikram
Ashnan gachan swapan swashan.
Ashnam gachan
Gachan
swapan shwasan.
Pralapan visarjan grihnan.
Pralapam visarjan grihanam.
Unmishan nimishan api.
Unmisham nimisham api.
Indriyanindriyarteshu.
Indriyani indriyarteshu.
Vartanta iti dharayan.
Vartanta iti dharayan.
Anyone wants to recite the verse? Any volunteers?
Prabhuji, can you go first?
Yeah, any Prabhujis wanted to go, please. I would humbly encourage that. Otherwise, I will go. If nobody is there,
I can go. Hare
please
Krishna.
go ahead. Yeah.
Naiva kinchit karomiti
Naiva
Naiva
kinchit
kinchit
karomiti
karomiti.
to manyate tattvavid
Yukto manye
tattvavid.
tattvavid.
pasyan savan pasyan vigran
Pashyan
Ashram shrunuvan sprisham jignam.
Asnan gachan. Ajay Prabhu.
Ashnan gachan swapan swapan.
Ashnam gachan swapan swasan.
Pralalpan.
Pralapan. Pralapan visarjan granam.
Unmishan nimishan api.
api
Unmisham nimisham api.
indriyani indriyatesu
Indriyani indriyarteshu.
vartanta iti dharayan.
Vartanta iti dharayan. Any Matajis want to go?
So Satyabhama Mataji, you try.
Okay. Nainam kinchit karomiti.
Neva
kinchit karomiti.
Yukto manne tattvavid.
Yukto manyata tattvavid.
Pashan shunvan sprishan jigram.
Parshan shravan sparshan jigran.
Annam gacham swapan shwasan. Swapanam shwasan.
Ashnan gachan swapan swasan.
Pralapam visrujam grihan.
Pralapan visarjan grahan.
Unmishan nimishan api.
Unmishan nimishan api.
Indriyani indriyarteshu.
Indriyani indriyarteshu.
Vartanta iti dharayan.
Vartanta iti dharayan.
Anyone else? Last chance to recite.
Prabhu, I can go.
Please, Mataji. Yeah.
Neva kinchit karomiti.
Naiva kinchit karomiti.
Yukto manyeta tattvavid.
Yukto manyata tattvavid.
Pashyan shravan sprishan jagran.
Pashyan shravan sparshan jigran.
Asnan gachan swapan swasasam.
Ashnan gachan swapam swasan.
Pralapam visarjan grahan.
Pralapam visarjan
grahan.
Unmishan nishanapi.
Unmishan nimishan
nimisham
api.
api.
Indriyani indriyateshu.
Indriyani indriyarteshu.
Ratanta iti dharayan.
Vartanta iti dharayan.
Thank you all devotees for stepping up. For reciting these verses, it is very important to recite verses, and it's facing everyone, and in the public forum, like coming forward to recite verse is very important, because that shows your interest for the Srimad Bhagavad Gita class verses. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you for helping me with this also. Now let's go word by word meaning. Na,
Na.
Na
never,
never
Never.
ever,
eva
Eva.
plainly,
certainly
Certainly.
kinchit,
kinchit
anything,
anything
Anything.
karomi,
karomi
I do,
I
I
do
do.
iti,
iti
thus,
thus
yuktaha,
Yuktaha.
engaged in the divine consciousness,
Engaged
engaged in the divine
consciousness.
consciousness
manyata,
Manyata.
manyat
thinks,
things
tattvavit,
Tattva.
tattva
one who knows the truth,
one who
One
knows
who
the
knows
truth
the
Truth.
truth.
passion,
Passion.
seeing,
seeing
Seeing.
one,
shravan
One
shravan
Hearing.
hearing,
hearing
hearing.
prisham,
pressure
Vision.
touching,
Touching.
touching
tigran,
Chikran.
chikram
Children.
smelling,
Smelling.
Smelling.
ashnan,
Ashnan.
ashna
None.
eating,
Eating.
eating
gachan,
Gachan.
gachan
going,
going
Going.
swapan,
swapan
Swapan.
dreaming,
Dreaming.
Dreaming.
person,
Vasan.
shvasan
Person.
breathing,
breathing
Breathing.
pralapan,
pralapan
Pralapan.
talking,
Talking.
talking
sirjan,
Visarjan.
visarjan
giving up,
giving up
Giving up.
grihnan,
Granam.
renan
Vision.
accepting,
accepting
unmission,
unmission
On mission.
opening,
opening
Opening.
emission,
nimission
Mission.
closing,
closing
Closing.
Closing.
be,
api
Happy.
in spite of,
In
in
spite.
spite of
indriyani,
indriyani
the
Indriyani.
senses,
the
The
senses
indriyarthesu,
indriyartheshu
Indriyartheshu.
sense gratification,
and sense
in sense
gratification.
gratification
vartante,
vartante
Vartante.
let them be so engaged,
Let
let
them
them
Let
be so
them be
engaged
so engaged.
iti,
be
See.
thus,
thus
Thus.
dharayan,
Dharayan.
Dharayan.
considering.
considered
Considering.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada.
Bhashila
Divine Grace
Prabhu
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
Jai.
Translation: a person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects, and that he is aloof from them. Translation: a person in Krishna consciousness is pure in his existence and consequently has nothing to do with any work which depends upon five immediate and remote causes: the doer, the work, the situation, the endeavor, and the unfortune. This is because he is engaged in the loving transcendental service of Krishna. Although he appears to be acting with his body and senses, he is always conscious of his actual position, which is spiritual engagement. In material consciousness, the senses are engaged in sense gratification, but in Krishna consciousness, the senses are engaged in the satisfaction of Krishna's senses. Therefore, the Krishna conscious person is always free, even though he appears to be engaged in affairs of the senses. Activities such as seeing and hearing are actions of the senses meant for receiving knowledge, whereas moving, speaking, evacuating, etc. are actions of the senses meant for work. A Krishna conscious person is never affected by the actions of the senses. He cannot perform any act except in the service of the Lord, because he knows that he is the eternal servitor of the Lord. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Thank you once again, devotees, for coming to this wonderful evening of Bhagavad Gita discussion. This happens every day. So this is the verse which today we are having two verses, beautiful verses, so nicely uh, described by Lord. So the verses itself are very like now very rhythmic and rhyming. So that's how Lord used to speak, and it's a song of Krishna or song of the Lord. So we have to sing and practice singing Bhagavad Gita. uh, yeah, so yesterday or the previous verse, which is Bhagavad Gita 5:7, Lord is saying that yoga yukto vishuddhatma vichitatma jitendriya sarva bhutatma bhutatma kurvan apina lipyate. Ani apina lipyate. Na lipyate means not entangled. Not entangled of what? Uh, kurvam api. Whatever he does, he is not entangled. That's what Krishna has said in 5:7. Okay. Kurvam api na lipyate. He is not entangled. Who is that person? That person is Yoga Yukta Vishuddhatma. Yoga Yukta is engaged in devotional service. A person who is engaged in devotional service, Vijitatma, he is self-controlled. He is having conquered the senses. How can he do that? By conquering the senses, he is not entangled or he is not attached to the work he is performing. So that's what he said. Lord said in verse 7. After verse 7, then he is continuing that flow. He's saying that, okay, how is he not engaged? What is he not entangled with? So that this verse, he's giving a clarity. He's going into deep detail. He's giving that नैव किंचित करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत तत्ववित् पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिग्रन् अश्नन् गच्छन् स्वपन् स्वसन्. So that is verse 8. And verse 9 is प्रलपन् विसर्जन् गृह्णन् उन्मिषन् निमिषन् अपि इन्द्रियान् इन्द्रियार्थेषु वर्तत इति धारयन्. So Krishna is saying that naiva kinchit karomiti. He is thinking that kara means kar means doing. Karo ami means me. Now, I am not doing. Karomi means I do it, right? If you say in Sanskrit, right? If you say yagnam karomi means I am doing the yagna. Okay, that's why he's saying that in this verse it's saying that kinchit, not even a single thing. He says I'll do it. Na. He's saying in the beginning. The verse is beginning with na. Na means never, never, ever, certainly. Ever means certainly. Never. This personality or this person. Who is that person? Yuktaha. He used the same verse yukta before also. Yuktaha, engaged in divine consciousness or engaged in spiritual activities. That person will never, na eva, never. Karomi. He says that never. He says that I do. What is he saying? He never do. He says that Pashyan, seeing, Shrinvan, listening or hearing, Sprishan, touching, right? Jigran, Jigran is smelling, Ashnan, accepting or eating, okay? Gachan, going, Swapan, dreaming, Swashan, taking breath. So all these activities, he says that I am not the one who is doing it, okay? And Krishna continues, Lord continues in the next verse again with more details. He's adding up. Pralapan means speaking, Visarjan, giving away or evacuating, Grihnan, or holding up to something, right? Catching. So Unmission is Unmission means opening of the eyelids. Unmisha, misha, right? Unmission, and mission means closing the lids, eyelids. So all these activities, even though they are been happening, we see that all these activities are happening in a natural way. If one person has a body, he will not. He has all these activities without his control, but still that these things happen, right? So this tattvavid, if you see tattvavid, the one who knows the truth, or the intelligent person, will not say that I am doing all these activities even though they're happening. He says that I'm not doing these activities. Why? What is the reason he says that? He says that he sees this as indriyani indriyartheshu. This all the sense organs are working for their sense objects. These are all just sense gratification. Prabhupada translates indriyartheshu as sense gratification. These sense organs are acting for the sense gratification. Okay, so he indriyani indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan. So he thinks that let them be so engaged. Okay, the organs, sense organs are engaged for sense activities or sense gratification. So let them be engaged. I have nothing to do with this. Naiva iti, naiva kinchit karomiti. So he's saying that I'll never say that I am doing that. Then who are you? That is the question, right? The question raises right there. Who are you? I am the soul, spirit soul. What is a spirit soul? Spirit soul has nothing to do with the senses and sense organs and sense objects, because all these belong to the material world. A body belongs to this material world, but the soul itself is spiritual identity, right? Aham brahmotmi. So that's Krishna. So what I'm saying is, like, basically, this soul is a part and parcel of the Lord, and it has nothing to do with this material world. Okay, all these activities which are performed in this material world through the body, even though that are being happening, this person or the soul or an intelligent person, tattvavit, or a knower of truth, will never claim that I am doing that activity, or I am the owner of that activity, or I am the enjoyer or the sufferer of that activity. No, because that is these actions are being performed by sense organs, and the sense they're being performed for the sense gratification. Okay, that is how he looks at it. So example is, if let's say, um, Prabhupada gives very nice example. Let's say there is a flight. Okay, he was in the airport, some airport, I don't remember where, but he saw the flight standing there in the airport, and Prabhupada pointed to that flight, and he said that, look at that airplane has everything. That airplane has legs, in the sense like wheels. That airplane has a evacuation system where it can eject the fuels which were already used, like in the form of gases, and the airplane can fly. Airplane can move from one place to another place. Airplane has all the controls in it to fly, to go down, to land, to park. Everything is there. It looks like, if you say, hey, I came by flight, it looks like the flight has brought you here, right? But in reality, who is really running that show? The runner of the show is pilot. Okay, the pilot is in the same way. uh, the soul is in the body. A body can perform any activity. Body can do a lot of activities, right? Body can eat, body can sleep, body can dream. All the senses and sense organs and their sense gratification, they're doing for sense gratification. But in reality, what is the soul is just there, just is nothing to do with the body, right? That's how he separates himself from the activities of this material world, right? If a flight is there, a flight can do all the activities, but we cannot say flight has a life. Flight is nothing without the life of a pilot. If there is no pilot, the flight cannot move, first of all, right? Even though it has all the power, all the capabilities, all the functionalities that it can perform to take one person in the air to another, from one location to another location, but still it's material. It's just a machine. In the similar way, body is also a machine in the material world, which will give an access, or which will perform many activities, right? So if the pilot in the flight thinks that I am the flight itself, right, it's not right. He cannot think I am the flight. flight is a machine which is made by some human, and that flight is used for flying. In the similar way, if the soul is in the body, body is a machine. So soul is using this body to perform its activities, to all this like to run the life. And when the machine gets bad, it will leave the machine and go to the another body. So in a similar way, so an intelligent person will always think that all these activities which are performed by the body on the sense of body and sense organs uh, will not get attached, or he'll keep himself away from the activities. Okay. um, from the yeah, he'll keep himself away from that. So now the point is, um, so that is one example. How is it possible? How can we do this? Is it really possible? Right. So there is a very good story. Amrendra Prabhu mentioned once, and there are other devotees also mentioned this story. So the story is, one day, this is the pastime of Krishna in Vrindavan. Okay, when Lord was in Vrindavan. So Krishna came to meet the gopis little late, and gopis asked him, "Why did you get late?" Then Lord said that we have a Durvasa Muni in the Bandiravan, and I like he's like a spiritual master, so I went to serve him. That's why I got late. Then gopis got that interest, and they also wanted to serve him. They wanted to feed him like chapan bhog and all those things. So they said that, Krishna, can we go and meet him? Then Krishna said, yeah, why not, you go meet him. Then they went, they prepared like chapan bhog, and they wanted to go cross the river. They had to go from their place to where Durvasa Muni was staying. They had to cross a river, Yamuna river. Then they asked Krishna, how can I cross this? How can we cross this river? Because it's night and there is no boatman. Then Krishna said, okay, go tell Yamuna that, if Krishna is a Naistik Brahmachari, Naistik means a perfect Brahmachari, a perfect celibate Brahmachari, then please allow us to cross through this river, cross through you. That's what they have to ask Yamunaji. Okay. Then gopis were little bewildered, like, how can Krishna be a Naistik Brahmachari? He's always teasing us, he's always behind us, behind all the gopis, and they break our pots, they take the yogurt, all these activities Krishna performs, and how can Krishna be a Naistik Brahmachari? But they went to Krishna and said, okay, is there any other option? I don't think this is going to work. We don't think it's going to work. Then Krishna said, no, this is the only option. If you want to go, talk to, tell Yamunaji that if Krishna is an Naistik Brahmachari, please allow us to cross through this river. Then they went, they had no other option because they didn't believe, but they didn't have an option. They went to Yamunaji and they said that if Krishna is a Naistik Brahmachari, please let us go through you. Yamunaji parted apart, and she gave a nice pathway for them to cross the river and go to Durvasa Muni. They were shocked, but that's okay. They went there. They served Durvasa Muni chapan bhog, 56 items they had made very quickly, and they are served. They really served Durvasa Muni, and now the time came when they have to go back to Lord. Then they requested Durvasa Muni, saying that, we came, now how do we cross the river, because it's already night, there are no boatmen at this time. Durvasa Muni asked, like, how did you come? Then they said, Krishna told that if Krishna is a Naistik Brahmachari, then Yamunaji asked, Yamunaji will give us a way. Then, if that is the case, Durvasa Muni said, okay, if go to the Yamunaji and tell her that if Durvasa Muni does live only on the dhruva grass, a milk of dhruva grass, okay, or dhruva juices. Dhruva grass is a tiny grass which we use in the fire sacrifices. We for any good activities, spiritual activities, we use the dhruva grass. We use a mat made up of dhruva grass. Dhruva grass is a grass, like a irregular, not regular grass. It's a tiny grass, what we find. so Durvasa Muni, in reality, he lives on that Durva juices only. He doesn't eat anything else. Okay, but before that, he just had chapan bhog made by the gopis. Okay, so if gopis had to cross the river, they have to go to Yamunaji and tell Yamunaji that if Durvasa Muni lives only on the Dhruva juice, please let us let us pass through pass through you. They had just seen him eating 50 chapan bhog, and they were shocked again, but they had no other option, so they took permission from Durvasa Muni. They went to the shore of Yamunaji, and they said, banks of Yamunaji, and they said that Yamunaji, if Durvasa Muni lives only on the Dhruva milk or Dhruva juices, please let us pass through you. Then again Yamunaji like parted apart, and she gave a way for the gopis to cross. This was shocking. They went to Krishna and they said that, how is this possible, Lord? You are always with us, right? You are always with us. And how do you say yourself as a Naishtik Brahmachari? And we forget about that. We have in front of us, we have seen Durvasa Muni. He was eating chapan bhog, and he says that he lives only on the Dhruva juices, Dhruva grass juices. How is it possible? Then Krishna answers that question. So the answer from Lord is connected with this verse now. Okay, the Krishna says that if a person is self-controlled, right? For example, Krishna himself, I am he's saying that I come here and I play with you all just for the satisfaction of you, just to, because you are all waiting for me, just to give pleasure and just to give a company to you, because you are requesting for that. I come here, but internally, what I do is I'm not attached to these activities. In the similar way, Durvasa Muni, you took chapan bhog to him, right? But he himself is not very much attached to eating that food. Why he accepted that food or the chapan bhog is because he wanted to accept your services. He was very much impressed with your services, and he wanted to accept services. By himself or for himself, he is not very much attached to that food. Just because he wants to serve you or accept your services, he ate those food. So in these two situations, we see that a person can perform an activity. Activities can be performed with the senses, but the uh, thinking and the intelligence is that you should always remember Krishna, because the soul's real identity is service to the Lord, right? Jiver Nitya Swarupai, Krishna, Jiver Swarupai Nitya Krishna Das. So the soul's identity is to serve the Lord. The soul has nothing to do with the senses, nothing to do with this eating, nothing to do with sleeping. Does it mean that we quit everything? No. That's what is Krishna saying, that you do it. His first verse of this chapter, Arjuna is asking, like, Krishna, why are you saying that 440, you said that with the jnana you should renunciate, you should become a renunciate, and you should not work. And 441, last verse of the fourth chapter, Lord says that you should come. And 440, he said that with the jnana you should renounce, and jnana will make you renounce the work. Then 441, the next verse, he says that pick up your bow and fight for me, right? So the first verse of this chapter 5:1, Arjuna's right away he has that question, Krishna, why are you confusing me? You are saying not to fight with the jnana, and again you're asking me to pick up the bow in the karma. So what should I follow, and which is better to follow? That is how our fifth chapter started. So here Krishna is giving the details, like he is going in and he is touching that part slowly and deeply. So what he's saying, that you perform your activity, all the activities will be performed. If you sleep, if you perform or not perform, the activities will be engaged by themselves for their sense gratification. Okay, for example, if you want to keep your eyelids open all the time, it's not possible. If you want also, it's not going to happen. You keep the eyelids will blink by themselves, right? In the similar way, there are many examples where you can take. eyelids and everything can be, all the activities are performed for the sense gratification. Okay, so if you don't perform for the right cause, these activities will keep on going. But an intelligent person thinks that he is aloof from all these activities and senses and sense organs and their gratification. And what he does is he engages them, all these senses towards Krishna. Okay, this is the verse we're talking today. Example we have quoted many times. Amrish Maharaj is a king, right? Amrish Maharaj is a king. If king has lot of duties, his king must be in the mode of passion to protect his citizens. The same Amrish Maharaj, he was when Sukadev Goswami was glorifying the qualities of Amrish Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam, he's saying that he uses his hands to clean the temples. He uses his feet to circumambulate the deities, to circumambulate the temples, Lingalaya. So he says that is to circumambulate the temples, and he uses his eyes to observe the Lord, or to watch or to take the darshan of the deities, and he uses his ears to hear the stories and the pastimes of the Lord. So like that, he explains, he uses his head or forehead to bow down to the in front of the deities. So that is the activities we should perform. Then if we don't perform those activities, the other activities will take over. Now the material activities will take over, and so this activity or the work will not stop. Okay, but an intelligent person has a choice. He makes a choice, the perfect choice of what is right and what is wrong to do. So the right thing is when the intelligent person thinks that I am not the body, so the real identity is serving the Lord. So let me use these organs or these senses in such a way that my life will be liberated, or I will get service of the Lord, or I'll get blessings of the Lord. So that is the thinking of an intelligent person. Okay, so this is, yeah, beautiful verse with all these explanations. Yeah, I think I have covered everything for today. Please share your reflections if you have any. I would like to hear them. Hare Krishna. Any reflections, Haribol?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Wonderful class, wonderfully explained, Prabhuji. Like that examples, the pastime of Krishna and gopis going to feed Durvasa Muni, and what Prabhupada said about the flight, like aeroplane. So wonderful, very nice example with this verse. And that verse is also so beautiful, like that they say Anupras in Sanskrit, Anupras, repeating words. So beautiful verse also, very nicely explained, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Wonderful class. Anybody else has anything to add? Any reflections? Any questions? Any concerns? Comments? Additions? Corrections? Comments? There is a book. Okay, Ajay Prabhu, please go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam. Yeah, Prabhuji mentioned our energy will be either utilized. If you don't utilize to the service of Krishna, it will be utilized for other material things. So that's wonderful thing that's I felt it's absolute truth. Anyhow, like we have to spend energy for our mind will not be vacant. It cannot be calm. So unless until it is put into service of Krishna, it will not be properly utilized. I felt very nice, Prabhuji, after hearing that. Thank you for wonderful explanation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for a wonderful class, as always. I had a question. I always think like, I know Shravanam is like, it's the part of devotional service, but sometimes I just wonder, like, um, you are everybody. Like, I'm just taking the example of the class. Like, you are giving the exam. You are putting in all the effort to prepare, to give the class. You are taking out time for. So basically, in my eyes or my understanding, you are doing service to Krishna. But
Don't hear you, Mataji. Ribol. Mataji disconnected. Mataji there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see her mic moving, so maybe she
Yeah.
got disconnected.
Okay. So let's wait Mataji to come back. If anybody else has anything to add, any reflections? Yeah, Mataji just okay. Anybody has anything to add?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I add something just about Durva grass? So in Maharashtra we have Ganesha, right? So we do like Durva, 21 Durvas with 3 leaves like this. So we get here also sometimes when I go for walk, I see the Durva grass. So is it the same one like Durva? The juice of Durva is also very good for health. So that is the same one, Durva grass?
In India, whenever they say Dhruva, mostly it is same one, Mataji.
Okay.
But if is it the same one here, I don't know, because I haven't. I mean, we for the temple we get it from India too. So I don't know if the match or if it is the same. I don't know, Mataji. I haven't checked.
Okay. But we what we use for Ganesha, that is the same, but right? It's the same Durva grass. Because it's, yeah.
Yes. According to my knowledge, or according to whatever I have seen, it is the same one in India, right? Now, if we like, this Durvasa's like the pastime which happened was 5,000 years back.
Mhm.
Maybe there was something else, or Durva, like things changed, right? I'm
Yeah, yeah.
same. I'm like, my answer for it is yes, it is same. It must be same.
Yeah, because the benefit, the medicinal properties are same. That Durva, why we offer to Ganesha is also it absorb the heat. Like he takes away. Like Ganesha is also Vignarta. He prays to Narsinga Bhagwan for Vigna Vinashak, right? He takes energy from Narsinga Bhagwan only. So maybe, so they say you have to offer 21. So we have 10 days Ganesha at our home. So they do every day 21, those together, bind together, and then we offer. So they say they take away our vignas, like how we start all work with Ganesha's name like that. So maybe I was just thinking it is the same one like Durvasa Rishi used to drink, because it's good. It has a lot of benefits also health wise. So might be that same one. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dattatreya Prabhu. Do you want to share something?
It's very nice class, Prabhu. It's very, very enthusiastic class. Again, I learned something from your class. It's very nice.
No, I want you to share something.
Yeah.
No, Prabhuji, each word was very nice. It was touching our heart, like how you describe, and the past tense also continuously we were just listening each word. So very nice. It was really wonderful.
No, this is all the devotees, Mataji. I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, I also, I'm just a parrot here and there, and I display here. But what I'm trying to request is like, if you want to share about the verse, or if you want to share about a realization, that will help.
Is Mataji back? Seems like not. Okay. Mataji is joining. Okay.
Haribol Prabhuji, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Was anybody talking? I had internet problem.
Please go ahead, Mataji.
So I was asking that in my eyes, you're doing all the service. What am I doing? What is my service? If I'm listening, but I'm just sitting here and listening, like what is my effort? I feel like I'm not doing anything. I'm just making the least effort. So how am I doing devotional service? By sitting and listening to these classes.
9 process of
I
bhakti.
know, Prabhuji.
one
I
is-
know about those. Yeah, I know Shravanam. I said that earlier, Shravanam. Yeah,
Right.
but again, that is what is like bothers me, like even like listening. Is it because when I learn, I'm going to set an example and pass it on to others? That's how I'm going to do this service. But still, I'm like, I feel my effort is the least in listening. Like you take out so much time to prepare these classes, to present these classes, so much effort. Compared to you, my effort is zero. All I have to do is just log in and listen and take out the time to do that. And also, like with that, I'm doing my my whatever, preparing dinner or whatever it is.
That
I
is
know that, and that's why I wanted clarification. I know about Shravanam, but so go ahead.
Yeah, that is the beauty of this Krishna consciousness, Mataji. So any one of the process you take, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, just by thinking, you remember that story, right? That Brahmana who was trying to offer Lord a kheer. He had a desire to
Yes,
offer a kheer,
yes,
but he
yes,
didn't have.
yeah, yeah.
He was just touching, and he felt that the kheer was really hot. He was just touching in the senses,
Right,
just
right.
remembering. So what I'm trying to say is like, whatever this is, Krishna is so merciful. Let's say, right now, if there is a president of America, and there are like 20 beggars, they go to president and say, we need $1,000. Is it very hard for him to give that $1,000? It is nothing for him. It is so. In similarly, if Krishna is our well-wisher. Krishna is the best wisher of us. No one can beat him in that point, right? So if he wants to take another, another billion souls back to his Goloka is very big. He is ready to take them. What he wants to see is like a little effort, little conscious. Um, Conscious effort from us, right? Like he wants to see, are we really interested to go back? That's it. He wants to see. He doesn't know. He doesn't sit and say, hey, you chanted 16 rounds, out of 16, 12 rounds you didn't chant nicely, you was lying down, oh, one day you missed. No, he's not
It's 8
calculative.
o'clock.
He's merciful. Mercy means without a condition he's giving that, right? You do. He made it so simple. Just listen, just chant, or just remember, bow down once to Krishna. See, all these activities are like, what kind of mercy Ajamila has, right? Ajamila was so much involved into material, grossly involved into this material activities, materialistic activities. He was killing, he was looting the people, Jagai Madai. Let's take all these examples, right? These examples shows that Krishna wants us to go back. He wants to see, "Arey, thoda to kar lo," do something, very little bit. शो थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट दिखाओ, क्योंकि फिर वापस जाने के बाद you don't want to feel all those, like, all these things should not go there, what I mean. That's why he wants to see at least some interest in you. So that's why the process itself is very simple. And we are fortunate that we have all these Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam classes. And I'm sure, Mataji, what if we have a desire, Krishna will surely fulfill the desire to present and do everything. But I mean, you don't have to go that far. Listening itself is good enough. And like again and again, Sukadeva Goswami was mentioning, like he mentioned multiple times that Shravan, listening is very important. So listening can clear the anarthas. It can bring uh, a change in our regular process. So that is one thing, Mataji. So please don't don't feel that you're not doing anything. Joining these calls, how important, you join like morning and evening for Bhagavatam class and Bhagavad Gita class every day. That's like that's a part of bhakti. That's 9 limbs of bhakti. One of the limbs is listening. Just listen, and you're already like in the process. We have, I mean, that itself takes commitment, right, to join the class, to in the morning and to in the evening. That's a big commitment. You're already doing it. So please don't feel bad for yourself. It's really, really good what you're doing. Please continue to do. And um, we pray to Krishna that he gives that strength and commitment for all of us to join these classes, to listen, to practice this bhakti, because this is the only way we can we can go back. This is the easiest way. It's not like in Kali Yuga you had to perform so many activities in, like, sorry, in Treta Yuga, Dwapar, in the previous yugas we had to perform multiple activities which were not possible in this Kali Yuga. That's why Krishna has mercifully given that process. Mercy, like mercy means there is no condition. As I said, there is no condition. Okay, acha, I saw you doing this stuff for a few days. I'm very happy. Just come back. Well, Krishna is like that. Like, what would he lose by taking us back? He's not going to lose anything. He just want to see that spark, that commitment, that kind of interest to go back. He doesn't want to take someone forcefully. He wants to see that interest. Aapke paas, do you have that interest? That's what he wants to see, Mataji. I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I think what Mataji pointed out, and again, I can speak up for what I see and I experience. So, when we see devotees and senior devotees, attending regularly, and be it in the morning, early hours, chanting, and in the evening, and out of their daily work, from their families, it really sets examples for people. It sets examples for me that it's very inspirational, I must say. That people may not be knowing it, devotees may not be knowing it, but inside our hearts, and again I can speak for myself, it really touches us, and it is inspirational to see devotees just so anxious to join and always there. So definitely, Mataji, setting up examples, and we try to follow that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Prabhuji. I think we are setting examples for each other, because I see you joining. I see Satyabhama Mataji joining. Yeah, I think we're all learning from each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, association. Yeah, she's always there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sameshwar Prabhu, everybody, like they're all there. And Sameshwar Prabhu is like everywhere, like Saturdays, service. You see he's doing
even
I'm
temple
like,
service.
how do you
we are doing nothing.
Yeah, but again, I would say this. I don't know if every Prabhujis agree with me, but it is easier for Prabhujis to take our time, because with Matajis we have to take care of the household work, the kids, and we have to see every situation, like, because like I remember Gundija Mataji saying long time back, because some of the Matajis were leaving their kids behind and going for service, and she was upset about that, and she said taking care of your kids is devotional service in itself, like, and especially if you have daughters at home and teenage daughters, like, you just, that is a very tender age, not to leave them at home and like go for service, like, I remember Guntita Mataji literally, like, not for teenage daughters, but even for kids, jo Mataji's ja rahi thi, like, temple service ke liye, and she said that it is not right, you're forgetting your, like, duties at home, because that itself is devotional service too. Because like, if you're going to the temple and your kids are watching something bad on TV or in bad association, then it's koi fayda nahi hai uska, so.
Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yes.
Even if Mataji sits at home and Prabhuji goes to the service at the temple, Mataji gets a more benefit. Mataji gets 150% and Prabhuji gets 100%.
Because she's doing double duty. She's doing temple duty too. She's taking care of that.
Not only that.
Yeah, 50% from Prabhuji.
50% goes automatically to the Mataji.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
It's an easy cake.
Yeah, that's right, Prabhuji. Yeah.
And
Even
because if you're doing service, I give credit to Raj Kishore Mataji, because she's taking care of, because you are not concerned about anything at home, like, and you can easily, your mind is free and you're focused and you can go. I wish I could do that, forgetting everything at home and just going, I wish, like, my prashadam is made, my service is done, and I can just go to the temple and, like, serve there every Saturday. But who's going to take care of the house, the cleaning and the cooking and the kids and everything? No, it's just not like, no matter how much my heart is there, my heart is there, but it's not possible, because then, like, the frustration will follow, because the things at home, like, are still not done, like, but it's not that, but I'm serving at home and I'm doing my best, to go there and do. Yeah, but I wish, so I look at Sameshwar Prabhu, I'm like, okay, Puneet Sethi Prabhu, every Saturday there, go Gauri Mataji. I wish I could go, Satyabhama Mataji. But then again, you look at your responsibilities at home and then you feel like, no, it's not going to be possible.
No worries, Mataji, no worries, because of you're also doing the service to Krishna. You're raising children nicely. Don't separate that with, whether you go to temple or not. But yes, your heart is there. You're doing wonderful service. You have deities at home. You're serving them. You're cooking for them, and yes, you're there at home. So don't compare that. Oh, I couldn't go to the temple, but you're at the same time you're at the temple. You're serving your deities. So that is, don't feel that way. Yes, you're also doing the service to Krishna, and at the same time. Yes, I mean, Prabhuji has little leeways in terms of, because
not
of
little Prabhuji, lot of leeway.
Yes, depends each person.
You know what? You can go right now to the temple and serve, just forgetting everything and leaving. I know my Prabhuji, he'll say, okay, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep, He doesn't have to care about anything. I have to take care of the lunches and everything, and I have to think about everything before I go to sleep. So Prabhujis, no. Most of Prabhujis, no. They'll say, okay, I'm tired, I'm going to sleep. I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, fine. We have to agree with that, Prabhuji.
But Mataji, one thing, like what your consciousness, your subconscious mind is always thinking about Krishna. You are thinking whether they are doing that at the temple. There is one story, two friends, they were going, and one friend, he went to Satsanga and he was saying to other friend, like, come with me. And he said, no, I will go to like party where that dance and everything. And he went there and that person went to Satsanga. And he was sitting there physically, but his mind was thinking, oh, he must have enjoyed their like the party and all that. But the person who was in the party, he was thinking, oh, I wish I could have gone there
To the
and
temple.
he is maybe in satsanga getting nice thing, right? So, but his mind, so who got more pious activities means more good thing,
The
because
one who went
it's
to the
not
party.
about physical, Mataji, and not like showing other thing, but our subconscious mind is totally connected, like how Hari Kishore Prabhuji told about that Durvasa Muni. He ate chapak bhoga, but still he was just doing for the, not for sense gratification, but his mind
Right.
is totally connected with Krishna, right? Same thing Krishna is with Gopi, but he is totally Yogeshwar, right? Like that, if you are still in your like material world engrossed, but you are continuously mind, because whatever you say we can make out your mind is totally with the Krishna connected. So don't worry about that, Mataji. Eventually
Yeah.
your Prabhuji will also come. Bring him to temple, give him prasada, bring it both together. Because see, these our devotees like Simeshwar Prabhuji, Krishna Namanda Prabhuji, both are serving Mataji. That's the reason I wanted my Prabhuji take initiation. Otherwise, really hard. I know, I can understand your problem. It's not like easy to go. If they know the things, no, then
No,
they will
Mataji,
encourage.
he doesn't stop me, from that. It's
No,
just that
no, but
I'm
if
working
he's,
also. So
yeah, but
during the
if
week
he
we
is
don't
with
get
you,
time to, that makes
yeah,
a
if he
difference.
is
Yes.
with you, ne, Mataji, then 50% tension is gone.
Right,
like
right.
like
Yeah,
they get
yeah.
service at the temple. So okay, Prabhuji is there, so okay, I have time, I can stay more and I can do
Right,
service
right,
like that.
right.
So bring him, Mataji. Eventually we have to make what Prabhupada's mission is, right? He wants everybody to become Krishna conscious and go to back to Godhead, right? That is our intention. Na? One day Bhakti Charu Maharaj also said it at our temple in lecture. This area is full of like African people. Go out, go give them prasadam. That is our mission. We have to make them. We are already in there, right? Our Indian people, eventually they will come take darshan. But the people around us, they will not, right? We had to do something different way, what Prabhupada wanted. We had to go give prasadam, bring them like that. So from our house we had to start. Eventually we can go out then with the family and all that. So but your mind is totally with Krishna, Mataji. I always see that. So don't worry about that.
Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hari,
Thank you for
Hari.
sharing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Wonderful realizations, discussions. Yes, service is the supreme in one sense. That doesn't mean that we should leave our responsibility. We all have to manage that. Some are able to manage, some are not able to manage. I mean, we should balance it. So, service is the supreme, and we all have the opportunity that by the mercy of the Lord. So, take that opportunity, don't miss that. Yes, we can have so many excuses also there. But at the same time, Krishna should be in the center of our life, center of our family, center of our all aspects of our life. Then everything will manifest. Krishna will arrange everything. So we should have that faith in Krishna. Pray to Krishna. So things will manifest, and don't think that, I do. Rather, we should have that complete faith in Krishna. Yes, Krishna, please engage me in your service. Please engage me in your service. That Krishna will make sure that you have that sincere prayer, sincere desire, sincere intention to do the service. It all will manifest. There is no doubt. There are so many examples out there. So all we need to do that, the love for Krishna, to serve Krishna. Then everything, like Srila Prabhupada says, that if you water the root of the tree, all the branches, all the leaves, all the twigs, all the trunks, everything get nourished. So the same way, we should pray to Krishna that please engage me in your service every day. Was also when you mentioned that, Mataji, hearing what we do. Yes, hearing, we are engaging our senses in the service of the Lord. Otherwise, the same hearing or same ear can utilize for so many other things. Maybe gossiping, maybe hearing some mundane topics, maybe hearing somebody's something. It's not, it's completely material, mundane. At the same time, when you come and hear the lecture or hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra or anything like that, you're engaging your senses, engaging your ear in the service of Krishna. So you're putting your senses, body, mind, everything for the service of Krishna. It's mentioned that when one who hear equally benefit as one who speaks, and also equally benefits one who asks the question. There is also a difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is just we hear it, but there is a difference between listening. Listening means we put our intention to hear, and that put it into our mind and practice. So many things, right? So these are all the way to engage. So anything like chanting, we are engaging our senses, our mouth, our tongue, everything for the service of the Lord. So anything which we do, even just little bit of mind, even in our mind, we think about Krishna, that's also a sukriti. That's also, one can actually elevate himself from this material mundane platform to the at least some level of spiritual, plane. Anything which we do, even we just moved, even we just walked in front of the temple while the bells are ringing at the temple, while some mantra is going on the temple, even if we just walked, even unknowingly, it is pleasing Krishna. That is, Krishna is so merciful. Even in our dream, even for somebody else for sake, if we do something, Krishna is indebted to us. Krishna is so pleased with that. Krishna is so dear to such devotees. That is Krishna. That is, he is known as, Dina Bandhu. He is called Daya Sindhu, Kripa Sindhu, Bhakta Valsala. So many names. Why? Because of he is there for the devotees. And Krishna says, if one takes one step, Krishna takes 100 steps towards to bring that devotee, that person to Krishna. So anything we do, anything, even a little bit of, even a moves a pin for Krishna, it's a service for Krishna. Okay. Okay, so let's, sorry.
I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
So when we chant, so we mentioned that we request or we sincerely seek obeisances or the blessings and ask the Lord to engage us in these services. So are we constantly trying to say that engage our senses in devotional services, like all the material senses?
Yes.
Are we okay.
Everything. And that is in a real sense of Mataji, the soul, when we chant the holy name, like the soul, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is a complete spiritual mantra. This is a spiritual potency. It's full of potency of Krishna is there in the mantra. And this is completely spiritual. And we are telling to Krishna that with this mantra, please engage me in your service, means engage my mind, engage my senses, engage my body, engage my hands, legs. That's, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So that means all our body, mind, intelligence, senses, everything. So this is the way that we purify our existence. We don't do that. When we hear something, our mind is somewhere else. We are not hearing. When we do something, our mind is somewhere else. We are not doing anything. That's not smaranam. Smaranam means we really remember the Lord Krishna. Hearing means we hear the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra nicely. We hear the lecture nicely about Krishna Katha. This, we are engaging our senses, mind, everything for the service of Krishna. So this way, our mind, our intelligence, our senses, our body, our hands, our legs, everything get purified. Now, automatically, when we practice this called sadhana, after some time, we can see the difference. Our eyes, our vision get purified. Our visions now Our eyes won't be so much of endeavoring for to look at so many other mundane things. When we purify like that way, our ears won't endeavor for so much of hearing from the mundane topics. Our tongue will be purified. Now the tongue will not have any taste for any other non-prasadam. We can literally see that, Madaji. We can literally see that when you taste a prasadam and a non-prasadam, how big difference, gulf of difference is there. Why? Because of it gradually purifies and then automatically, naturally start to engage our mind, our tongue, our ears, our nose, our eyes, our body. Everything will automatically engage us in the service of the Lord. And we have to come to that level. That's called practice or called sadhana. So we should practice that. So that way we come to that state that completely purify ourselves. Then nothing won't affect us. Like we know that the butter is in the milk, the ghee is there in the milk, but we don't see it. But what we do for that in order to, extract the ghee and the butter from the milk? So we boil the milk, they make it split, and we make it curd, right? So when we make it curd, then we churn the curd, yogurt, and then finally when we churned it, the butter comes out, and now this butter cannot go back as a milk, butter cannot go back as a yogurt, butter cannot go back as a yogurt milk, nothing, it's pure. Every person has that purity, pure soul is there. The soul is there and we don't see it, we don't experience it because it's completely covered like a yogurt and a butter and the yogurt and the milk, the water, everything is there. So we don't see it. But actually what really makes that the milk is so tasty, so sweet and so everything is that the butter and the ghee, basically that the core of it. So exactly like that. Our soul is very pure, but it's contaminated by so many of these, external entities. External entities are mind, intelligence, ego, earth, water, fire, either that's our body. These external entities are actually contaminated. That is temporary, that's material, that belongs to this material nature. Material nature prone to get contaminated. But there is a way that we can aloof from, we can purify it from everything, is this holy name, engaging in the loving devotional service and utilizing our senses, mind, intelligence, ego, everything for the Krishna. Then we come to that point that like a pure state, that's called Shuddha Sattva, pure state, pure goodness. So in that state, everything is, very perfect and doesn't affect any of the anarthas, any of the, trigunas or tapatraya or three kinds of miseries. It won't affect such devotee, such soul. Yes, when you chant the holy name, we are praying to Krishna that please engage me in your service. This way, completely with the body, mind, and intelligence, everything for the service of Lord, then we completely purify. I think you can see the difference, right? When you say mind is there. There's a senses are there, but we use that sense for so many other things. The same senses we use for Krishna, it is one of the best. The mind can go so many places, but at the same time, if you utilize for the service of Krishna, and that is the best. It's a friend as well as an enemy. Mind. Senses is a friend as well as enemy. Body is a friend as well as an enemy. If it don't utilize for the service of Krishna, it is an enemy for us. The same, our self is going to become an enemy for us because of it can create such an anartha for us if we don't utilize. So we pray to Krishna, please engage me in your service so that I would be free from all this contamination. I can serve you properly. Otherwise, we don't serve Krishna properly. We just our own self, we put ourself into it. We put our own self into everything. That false ego, as it says that in today's verse, a person who is self, Krishna conscious, whatever he does, talking, hearing, speaking, spasana, darshana, and all the sapna, everything, he does not say that, it's me. So it's a very appropriate verse. Yes, that answer is yes, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you, Guru. Thanks for the explanation. So when you are saying that we are constantly trained to engage our material senses towards the service of the Lord, so we are using the same senses for our material activities. Like we are constantly engaging, disengaging, engaging, and then disengaging.
yeah.
It's not all the time 100%. So how do we like come to a settlement in the mind, like, okay, I'm hearing, let's say I'm chanting and I'm not able to hear what I'm chanting due to some condition. Let's say if I am in a restaurant outside, or I am in a car where a radio of some frequency is playing, so I'm constantly not able to hear. Sometimes not like
Yeah.
just for example. So we are not able to 100% give our sense to towards the service of the Lord. So how do we settle that, reconcile that?
Yeah, it's a
Because
gradual practice. It won't happen overnight. People take even 25, 30 years, even 40 years, 50 years in their entire life, even take lives of lives to come to that state, Mataji. That's why, one has to go for sannyasa. I mean, in our asrama, there is a sannyasa ashram. What is a sannyasa means? Kamam na nasyam sannyasam. I mean, it's from everything. And the sannyasi carries a danda. This danda is not just a one danda. There is a three danda. Three danda represents the body, mind, and words completely surrendered to Krishna. So this is a sannyasa state you are talking about. You are mentioning about the sannyasa state. We are not up to there. So what we can do is actually just practice. So abhyasa yoga yuktena, then vairagyena cha priyate, vairagya. Detachment, not so much attachment to material world, but detachment at the same time. We engage our activities. Yes, we may hear so many things, we may do, but yes, we have to sadhana, we have to practice gradually. Then you will have a higher taste. Srila Prabhupada says that the point is higher taste. We need to develop a higher taste. Remember that in our childhood, we liked something, we didn't like something. But, our parents forced to eat, okay, you eat this. So we gradually develop a taste, and it's liked very much after that. Something in everything in our life is happening like that. Depends on a taste we develop. Yes, we must have developed some hearing some, classical music or some Bollywood music or whatever it is, or maybe hearing some anything or something like that. We develop that. This is our current mold that we develop that. So now we have to rewind it. We have to unwind all those. So how we can unwind? It won't happen overnight. So what best thing is actually, yes, if we know that this is not good for my spiritual progress, just detach from it. Just reject it, reject it. Detach from it. If it is not helpful, it's not progressing, it's gradually. We may be like 80% in the material world, but 20%, but that 20% is very good actually. That 20% itself will help us to come down to the, maybe 50-50, maybe 50 material, 50, maybe 40 material, 60 spiritual. And this is the way we are actually kind of, purifying ourselves. It takes time. And all one need to do that, our sincere effort, endeavor. So we know that the story of Makanchor, the Damodara pastimes. I think, many of you know that. Damodara, when Mother Yashoda wanted to bind Krishna. This is exactly our situation. Mother was trying with so many ropes, but was not able to tie. But when there is a mercy of Krishna, then only Mother Yashoda could tie. Yes, we should put our endeavor in all respect. We should put our endeavor. Srila Prabhupada gave a wonderful example in the Bhagavad Gita, purport. There was a little sparrow, and this little sparrow laid their eggs on the shore of the ocean. So then big waves came and took away all these eggs laid on the shore. And this little sparrow was so much in distress and disappointment and took a challenge that I would, if you don't return my eggs, I would actually drink all this ocean water and I will dry out you. So this ocean is laughing, this little bird, little sparrow, how much water can contain in the beak of a little sparrow? The ocean was laughing at this little sparrow. So then this bird, little sparrow, started to, take the water from the ocean and put it out, take the water, go to the water again, take it out and going and keep doing it. So every other birds listening and hearing this and seeing this, what this little sparrow is doing. So everybody came to know that, all the birds, and even Garuda came to know that. So Garuda is in the same species of the birds. So Garuda saw that my little sister is doing this effort, I should go and help. So this Garuda came and came to the shore of the ocean. And then Garuda said to the ocean, and if you don't return these eggs of the sparrow, I would dry you out. Then ocean became so frightened because the Garuda is so huge. So then immediately ocean returned the eggs of the little sparrow. So the moral is when we have our endeavor, some way or other it will happen. When you have determination, that will happen. If you have a determination to progress in the spiritual path, everything else will automatically come into play and we will be all, attain our God. But if you don't do, I can't do this, so there are so many things, so how can I do this? I am doing little, but we can do that little. It will help us. So there is no disappointment, or there is anything which we do for the service of Krishna is so beneficial, and that will be there. And another point is actually whatever practice we this in this life, like we are just passed in the spiritual path, we just passed the first grade. So what happens in our next life, we are starting from the second grade. Then if we do that more, we can do that more in the second grade, and the next life we will be starting from the third grade, not on the lowest level. So it's all beneficial in our life. So practice, sadhana makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. So we should keep practicing, and we should have that determination. That's why we are learning Bhagavad Gita. It tells us who are we. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We are here in this world because of our karma. We are suffering, and we can eradicate this karma by this practice of devotional service, and we can become perfect and purified. And we can attain our original spiritual state. Original spiritual state. We are all spiritual entities, not the material entities, which are temporary, but we are all spiritual entities. That is eternal, and that is always. So we should always have this understanding, and then in order to attain our original spiritual state, no more birth, death, old age, diseases in this world, and attain that our original spiritual state with that supreme, we have to practice this. We have to have our consciousness purified, practice, and eventually we all can attain to that state of that pure consciousness, pure Krishna consciousness. That's the point we are going back with the Krishna. Krishna comes down to take us. There is Tukaram Maharaj, that the Tukaram Maharaj pastime. Tukaram Maharaj, Lord came down to take Tukaram Maharaj. So many devotees out there, Lord came directly to take them back. There are so many. So it is very, very important that this life, as always says, that a human life is very rare. We don't know when we are going to get this human birth. Yes, we can have so many excuses, but the ultimate point is that our consciousness should tie to Krishna. Our consciousness should tie to Krishna. Our consciousness should for Krishna in our life. Krishna, he will be then fulfill everything else what we have, or what we desires we have. Krishna will fulfill everything, and Krishna has mentioned that if what are the root of that bhakti, Krishna will provide everything. There are so many examples out there throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, throughout our history. There are so many examples that how Krishna personally coming and helping devotees. So many out there. So we can, so yes, it is there. Only by sadhana, Mataji, keep practice, have that determination that I need to be stick, I need to stay in Krishna. I need to practice. I need to be with Krishna at least some time of the day. May not be always, but have this Krishna consciousness, and Krishna will make the arrangement. By the mercy of Guru, we get Krishna, and by the mercy of Krishna, we get the Guru. So this is the point. So by the mercy is there. So Guru's mercy, we get Krishna. Krishna's mercy, we get Guru. So mercy needs to be there. So in order to get this mercy, only by the endeavor that we get the mercy. Otherwise, we don't get the mercy. Yashoda Maya was endeavoring, so Yashoda Maya got mercy. Everybody is endeavoring, so everybody get the mercy, devotees. Only by the endeavor that we get the mercy. Otherwise, we don't get the mercy. We cannot. So we have to put, yes, you are coming here for the time and listening all these things, your endeavor. So you get mercy. So only practice. By the practice only we get this mercy, and by the mercy we progress. So it's practice is very important. And practice means loving devotional service.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. I think.
Thank you, devotees.
Okay. So thank you. And let's conclude then today's session.
Yeah,
Sachi Mata says,
Hare Krishna.
also Janaki Mataji, just like Govindandri Mataji said yesterday, the external circumstances might not be in our control, but internally we have control. So if a radio is playing, no worries, chant internally, exactly. That's the point. Thank you so much for putting that, Mataji, Sachi Mataji. Okay, I think let's conclude then today's session. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Harikishore Mataji, Harikishore Koji, for bringing these wonderful discussions and the point and the class. So nice. So many devotees listening.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity, Prabhuji. You were running the show day after day. And thanks to all the Guru Parampara, all the Vaishnavas from whom I learned, and I just repeat as a parrot. So thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Great class. Thank you. Great discussion.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so let's conclude today's session. Vancha kalpatarubhya
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Vaishnavrinda ki
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki
Hari Jai.
Thank you, Hari Kishore Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you everyone for wonderful discussion. Hari.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.